I'm speechless.
Yikes.
Welcome on in, everybody. NorCal Sports Network. And this one gonna sting a while. Felt it coming all night. I just thought after the 8th inning, maybe they escaped after the second double play with bases loaded. But no. And we're going to get into this. What did I text you? Right before Marte came up and I saw that Gage was coming in. I said in the text, Marte is a better hitter than the right side career, 304 compared to 266 left. He's got more power, right-handed. Marte he's a beast right-handed. Just doesn't get to see as many lefties. But Giants lose their...
This year, Dan, he's only... Oh, yeah, he's 255 versus left-handed pitching.
He's having a bad year this year. He's having a bad year, but against lefty or against righties, he's even worse this year. He's
207.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think it was maybe more about Killian, not having confidence in Killian and wanting to try something else. But
kill the band.
I think we're starting to see a reason why teams have a closer. You have a guy that is experienced, he's scary, you bring him in the 9th, and he shuts the door down. It's not a guy you bring in at the end of the 8th inning to get an out, to save you in the 8th inning, and then he goes and sits on the bench, and then he comes in the 9th and gets the first 2 outs, and then you bring another guy in. That piecing it together, I don't know. There's a reason why traditionally teams have a closer, because the 9th inning is special. Shit happens in the 9th inning and need somebody that can prevent it from happening. There's something about it. The last chance, whatever. People are procrastinators. They wait till the end to find a way to try to win the game. I don't know what it is, but there is something that bullpen by committee does not work. So.
And Mike Val says you don't pull your closer at any level of baseball. Well, he's not a closer, though. You don't have a closer. That's the problem. You don't really have a real closer. Giants walked.
No.
I mean, Eric Miller was horrible. He walked 3 guys.
Yeah, he was last time too. He needs to. He's not there yet. He's back, but he's not back.
Somebody blaming the umps in the chat. Do we have a casual in here? Hold on. Let me see. Who's blaming the umps? Giants.
What's the problem with the umps?
Wait a minute. Your catcher's interference was not, and that umpire was trash. Well,
I thought it was.
It was. They showed a replay. I watched the Diamondbacks broadcast. It barely ticked the catcher's glove.
It did, but he knew it immediately. It's not like the batter didn't notice it or whatever. He felt it, So I think it was catcher's interference. And that's Susek, young guy, a tough situation. He knows that runner's going to want to try to advance. And he got a little bit ahead of himself and got his glove out there too far. And that's just, there's going to be some plays where Patrick Bailey, that's probably not catcher's interference. But with Daniel Susek, it is. But the guy's hitting like he never got hurt for a month, So I think you let it slide on that and just work on trying not to walk so many guys.
Yeah. It was rough. It was rough. I'm surprised that they were able to hold Arizona down to 1 run. It's a good hitting team. They were hitting .471 with the bases loaded this year, leading baseball. They have. I was listening to the stats. You pick up. I'll tell you. I I really like the Diamondbacks broadcast crew with Bob Brenly, and I can't think of the name of their play-by-play guy, but they're really on top of what's going on with the Giants. They know everything. They give you more detail than the Giants broadcasters do. They're not homers. They talk really good about when the Giants do good, but they were ripping on the Giants in the first inning. They talked about the Giants, how bad they don't run balls out, they don't hustle. It was kind of interesting to hear it because, Bob Brenly, a former Giants player and a former manager, he's an old school guy. He hates that stuff about not hustling. He called out a couple of veterans tonight, and today he was on KMBR with Murph and Mack, and he called out Willy Adames for joking around out there. Look, old school guys, they don't put up with this crap. And this is why the Giants are 20-29. They don't care. Willie got his 182. He got his 182. He's content. He's happy. Yeah, I'd probably be smiling a lot too if I had $182 million and I'd already been paid, whatever it's been, 30 of it, and I got another 150 million coming over the next 5.5 years, and I don't even have to, I don't even have to worry about actually producing. I can just get the money. So this is rough. And right now this team is on pace. They are 20 and 29. They're playing 40.8% ball. Let's say they improve to 45% on the year, and they go. And 162 times 45, they're going to win 73 games. I'm telling you, this is an 85 loss team, Dallas. It's probably more, but I'm going to say 85.
That's fine. I mean, I'm not going to go there yet. They played a lot better tonight. The Giants did. They turned 4 double plays. The defense was solid. It looked like a completely different team than last night. And yes, the bullpen blew it at the end, but I felt like, after they got over the first couple of bumps, in the road, I thought, okay, yeah, they're going to win this game. And then, of course, they blow it at the end. But as far as just the gameplay, there was a lot of great plays on defense on those double plays, like when Keaton Wynn had to get over and cover first base in the 8th inning there. A run would have scored if they didn't turn the double play, and he stretched out and used every inch of that 6'4" height to make the play. I thought that was a really good defensive play and heads up baseball by Keaton Wynn there. And then you talk about Roupp, 6 innings pitched, gave up 7 hits, but only 1 run and no walks again. The guy does not walk anybody. He attacks the zone. I mean, that should be the ideal pitcher. Anybody on the Giants staff is looking to emulate somebody, emulate Landon Roupp. The guy goes after them. You cannot walk people. You cannot put people on base. What happened after Roupp? Went 6 innings with 0 walks. Then the next guys walk 4 in 3 innings. So, I mean, that's just a recipe for disaster when your bullpen starts walking people. You need to attack the zone. So the bullpen, they looked okay early in the season, but lately they have not been good. And it seems like Vitello is just struggling to find anyone to throw in there that can get the job done. And it's not Eric Miller right now, that's for sure.
I got a couple in here. Sick and tired of this team. Today was my last straw. I hope they lose 100 games at this point to force change. That's kind of my feeling too. I don't want an 81 and 81 team, an 82 and 80, an 80 and 82, whatever, give or take a game or two. I want either a playoff team or I want a complete meltdown, because I don't think this organization does a darn thing if they're right around the 500 mark at the close of this season. They would actually, if they were 70 and 81 and won their last 11, they would feel good about the season. They say, oh, yeah, We're just right there, baby. We just got to bunker down next year and we'll come on back. We got 11 game winning streak. This team looks like it might be on the precipice of really breaking out next year. So we're going to run it all back. No, this team sucks. I'm telling you, it has to be a team that just blows up. Blow the whole thing up. Blow it up because they are a disaster. We haven't even touched on the Eldridge thing yet. We're going to get.
Let me touch on that right now.
Go ahead.
Because before the game, I'm looking at the lineup. It comes out and Eldridge is not in there. And before this series, I said, well, this is going to give us the opportunity to play Casey in left field. Eldridge can play. We can get a look at him, right? Now, again, he's not in the lineup. And I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't make any sense to me. I want an explanation why. Well, Shayna Rubin went and talked to Vitello and asked him, what's going on here? Why is Eldridge not in the lineup? And Vitello says, well, Nelson has reverse splits. He's good against lefties. Okay, good against lefties. Well, that would make sense, but then why is Will Brennan playing in the game? Wouldn't me and you and any fan in this, any person in the chat, wouldn't you rather have Bryce Eldridge in the batter's box than Will Brennan? I mean, yes, he's off to a slow start. He's only hitting 146 or something in limited at bats, but Brennan's hitting 067 in limited at bats. So they both have done nothing. I think coming off of a 2-hit game yesterday, Eldridge has a little more upside. He's got tremendous power, and maybe he's starting to get things going from the game yesterday. But no, they sit him and they give me an excuse about, well, we wanted to play, we didn't want to play a lefty, but then you put a lefty in right field. You could have switched it around, put Gilbert in right field, and put Schmidt in left field, and Eldridge at DH. It would have been fine. You have this extra spot, but they don't want to do it for some reason, and it doesn't make sense, you know.
Yep.
Eldridge can't play the outfield. We don't need him to play the outfield. We just need an extra spot. The DH spot can be opened up, and Eldridge can play there, or play him at first base but they don't want to do that. But hey, if Keaton Wynn hadn't been able to cover on that and it was Devers in that spot, he wouldn't have made that play because he's not 6'4". So I don't know. I don't buy the excuse. At least they gave me a reason, because I was going into the game thinking, what? I don't understand it. I'm at a loss to explain this. And then they explain it to me, but the explanation doesn't make sense. So I'm still not too happy about that. Maybe having an extra bat, having Eldridge in the lineup, maybe Eldridge goes 0 for 4 just like Brennan did. But maybe not. Maybe he gets a hit. Maybe he launches one into the pool. You know, who knows? Maybe he tries to emulate Devers. Devers hit the longest home run a Giant hit this year. Maybe he's like, oh, man, I'm going to do that. Well, we don't get a chance to see that. We just take an 0 for 4 in the 9-hole and call it a day.
Yep. It's beyond me, Dallas, that Eldridge is not in the lineup. I did a video put out on Twitter today. If you guys haven't seen that, go to my Twitter page. You can find it. My Twitter handle is let's see, before we go, I got to get this off. Dallas, there it is. At NorCal Sports NW, and it's all got to be case sensitive when you go look that up. So, yeah, I did a little 4-minute video rant. I think, in fact, I may just play it for you to give myself a break from talking now. This team is a joke. It really is. And I wanted to get into this whole Eldridge thing because I think it says something about this team. And, oh, wait a minute. We have something from Jack from Hot Takes. This should be fun. This is okay. Let's get to Jack from Hot Takes right away here. I haven't heard this. This has got to be entertaining, folks. Be prepared to be entertained here. Let's pull it up and hear what Jack from Giant Hot Takes has to say.
Not only are you going to lose 100 games, but Bryce Eldridge is going to sit on the bench watching it. Invest in a closer. You don't have a closer. Playing budget ball. You're going penny pinching. You're 9 games below. Joke. I listened to that thing on radio. Joke. Laughing stock of an organization. There's not many worse organizations in professional sports than the San Francisco Giants. You have the best prospect you've had in probably my lifetime. It's close. Ever since I've been watching my lifetime. Obviously not quite the Buster Posey too, but he's going to sit on the bench, and you're going to watch Drew Gilbert, and you're going to watch Will Brennan take at bats over him. No disrespect to those guys. It's not a Bryce Eldridge level prospect. It's a big FU to your fan. They're going to continue to keep doing it. Can't wait to see Maui. Can't wait to see him throw tomorrow. He'll get swept. A shit show of an organization gets worse.
Play one more time.
Not only are you going to lose 100 games, but Bryce Eldridge is going to sit on the bench watching it. Invest in a closer. You don't have a closer. Playing budget ball. You're going penny pinching. You're 9 games below. Joke. I listened to that thing on radio. Joke. Laughing stock of an organization. There's not many worse organizations in professional sports than the San Francisco Giants. You have the best prospect you've had in probably my lifetime. It's close. Ever since I've been watching my lifetime. Obviously not quite the Buster Posey too, but he's going to sit on the bench, and you're going to watch Drew Gilbert, and you're going to watch Will Brennan take at bats over him. No disrespect to those guys. It's not a Bryce Eldridge level prospect. It's a big FU to your fan. They're going to continue to keep doing it. Can't wait to see Maui. Can't wait to see him throw tomorrow. He'll get swept. A shit show of an organization gets worse.
All right, there we have that, and now we're going to play a little bit of video from yours truly from earlier today. Once the lineups came out, I want to play this for you guys. Oh, I guess it's already up there, so let me get some volume on here for you guys.
Hey, Brian Techie, let me know if that's better.
Whoops. You know what? It's not on there. Hold on. Hold on. Tonight. There it is. Here we go. Hey, Dan Cucimilla here with NorCal Sports Network. The San Francisco Giants here in Arizona for game 2 of the 3-game series, and the lineup is out. And guess what? Bryce Eldridge is not in the lineup tonight. There it is. Harrison Bader, Luis Ariz, Casey Schmidt, Rafael Devers, Willy Adames, Matt Chapman. Oh, they got Adames and Chapman back to back again. Oh boy, that's a mess. Drew Gilbert, Daniel Susac, and Will Brennan batting 9th. No Bryce Eldridge, and I just don't understand this team. I really don't. Last night, Bryce Eldridge got 2 hits. There you see it right there. Bryce Eldridge, 2 for 4. 2 for 4. And we just heard that Mike Krukow on KMBR yesterday say, well, he's either got to play or they're going to have to send him down. But if he's going to be in the lineup, he's going to have to hit his way into the lineup and show he can hit. So he gets 2 hits. What's his reward? The bench again. What did Bryce Eldridge do about a week and a half ago on a Saturday night at home against the Pirates? He hits his first major league home run into McCovey Cove. Later in the game, he hits a ball to left center to the warning track. He's making loud contact. His reward? Next 2 games on the bench. You can't make this stuff up. You really can't. This is one of the worst teams in baseball, worst team scoring runs. And they bring up this prize hitter after they go 0-6 on a road trip. And they bring him up and say, he's going to play every day. And yet now he's sitting again. And this is about close to 50% of the time Bryce Eldridge is out of the lineup. I don't understand this team. It looks like it needs a complete overhaul, just not even on the field, but the front office, the ownership group. This really is a mess. You know, I think I'll just take my hat off here and put this Diamondbacks hat on since I'm living here in Arizona now, and I'll just root for the Diamondbacks. Why?
because I think it'd be best if the Giants actually lose 100 games. Hear me. Do I want to see the Giants win and make the playoffs? Absolutely. I'm a former season ticket holder, been a fan of the Giants since 1968. I've been following them religiously forever, and I've been rooting for them. But this team is really hard to root for. When you see what they're doing with Bryce Eldridge, does this team even have a clue? Is it rudderless? Is it completely rudderless? I don't understand it. Either play the kid or send him down. You brought him up after an 0-6 road trip and said he's here. He's here to play. He's here to play. And that you don't play him. Look, you're not a good team. You got crappy players. You got veterans that don't hustle, that get doubled off. Devers doesn't run out balls. Adames is joking around with everybody. This is an absolute mess. An absolute mess. Tony Vitello must be thinking, why did I leave Tennessee? I had a gold mine there, and here I am in this organization that doesn't know which way they're going. They have no clue. And why do I say it's best that the Diamondbacks win and just beat the crap out of the Giants and see the Giants maybe go say, hey, 62 and 100, 60 and 102? How about 50 and 112? Maybe that would be the thing to do. Maybe then the front office and ownership would say, hey, Houston, we have a problem. We better correct this. But no, as long as they go 81 and 81, 80 and 82 in that range, the fan base will be fine, and they'll just keep showing up, 3 million through the turnstiles, and everything will be fine. Giants will just, owners really can care less as long as the fans keep showing up. And, until the fans stop showing up and they start drawing like they did in Candlestick, 700,000, 600,000 for an 81-game schedule, maybe the fans and the ownership will wake up. If the fans wake up, stop showing up for a crappy product. My goodness, what a joke this team is.
There you have it, guys. That was actually before the game. Before the game. And now this, and now we got a press conference from Tony V. Let's hear it. No volume there.
There we go. Let's restart that.
I'm still not hearing anything.
You didn't hear anything there?
No.
Okay, 1 second. I see the problem.
Got it.
First, they decide to.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, obviously get a guy on base. Lefty hits a line drive to center, and then we've got, a runner at first. They decide to take a chance and go for a stolen base at second base, and there's a catcher's interference called. And then you're dealing with the situation, I dealt with Marte, switch hitter, and at that point, Killian had 25 pitches. Went with a fresh arm, different look, and made the wrong decision, cost us the game. Not that Gage, he's got as good a numbers as anybody on our team, and he's gotten it done for us more times than not, but obviously it's on me. Yeah,
Well, Tony, it's big of you to say it's on you, and yeah, you can say it wasn't the greatest decision, but Marte's a tough hitter, and either way you go, whether you go Killian or Gage, I think the odds are better if you stick with Killian or a fresh right-handed pitcher maybe, but they don't have much. Hey, look, how about if Buster steps up and says, hey, my guy Tony's taking the fall, and I didn't give him but anything but a bunch of crap. I just gave him, I didn't give him any closers. I didn't give him anything. I didn't do nothing for the bullpen. Oh, yeah, I went and signed Sam Henches, and, he probably would have been a better situation in that deal. I don't know. You're just taking shots out there. Jason Foley, When's he coming? July? Well, that's all. This is all on Buster Posey. I'm sorry. Buster Posey, look, you took this job thinking you can handle it and you could fix what Farhan screwed up. I don't know if he's any better than Farhan as far as his baseball acumen, as far as figuring what talent is. Buster hasn't done anything. Buster's done the biggest thing he's probably done was sign Luis Ariz as far as getting some talent this offseason. He got Devers last year. Devers is starting to look more like Devers, so I can't, keep ripping on Devers when he's doing well, but good. Devers is doing well, you're losing. Maybe somebody else will want Devers. Maybe somebody will take Devers, and then you get rid of that contract, because right now you're 50 and 79 or 69, 50 and 69 with Rafi Devers since he started with the Giants. And you know what's crazy? Is Devers has played in all 139 games with every one of them, and they're 19 below. So am I saying Devers is the problem? No, I'm not saying he's the biggest problem. I'm just saying he's not helping you win.
Yeah, he's been inconsistent, and he's not giving you that threat. Even now he's swinging at a lot of pitches that he should be mashing. Now, of course, I'm saying this after he hit a spectacular, massive home run tonight, the third longest home run of the season in that ballpark. So, that's good. But unfortunately tonight it wasn't enough because of the things you just mentioned. The going cheap with the bullpen, man. You got rid of your closer last year, and your second closer that replaced him is now Tommy John surgery, and you didn't replace him. So, what would it have cost? $9 million? $8 million? I don't know, but just even one more guy, could bolster a bullpen, and he decided not to try it, and that's a gamble that right now is not paying off. So that's unfortunate. This could have been a game where they had to scrap together and get a win. Some timely hitting, some great defense, some good pitching by Roupp. This is how Buster Posey says the Giants are going to win. Good pitching, timely hitting, and that's how they want to win, right? And good defense. That's how they want to win.
George says, Dan, no one on the roster is helping us. They all should be up for discussion and trades. Exactly, George. I'm the guy that's been calling for a complete fire sale. Get rid of everybody. And I'm talking Chapman, Adames. Figure out how to get out of those no trade clauses. Bench them if you got to. Adames is just screwing around half the time out there, and Chapman completely stinks at the plate. He's getting on borderline Patrick Bailey territory where he's an auto out. So fine, sit him, piss him off. What do I care? What's the difference if you win or lose with Chapman? Get him to want out of here and force these guys out of here. And
we're nearing the point where they say, well, we can't play Eldridge because we're still trying to win, right?
Well, that's why I say
working.
Keep losing. And then then it's like, okay, we're going to play Eldridge and we're just going to, I don't know. I don't know what this is. And I don't know, Dallas, who's making the lineup out. Is it Tony solely? And here's my problem if it's Tony solely. If Tony is making the decision to bench Bryce Eldridge, then Buster Posey is never going to be successful as the president of baseball ops, because he's got to say, look, I want to see Bryce play. I called him up here not to sit. We are trying to develop him. We've got to develop this kid for the future. It's not so I'm going to send him. Tell me, are you planning? What's your plan with him? Because I'm going to send him back down, or I want him playing. And I know Buster wants to leave it up to the manager, but I
wish we had more clarity on this.
Or is there a collaborative group effort that's talking about this? What's going on? Because I don't think Dallas that they really have a plan. I don't think they know what's going on.
No. And Dave Fleming said that Tony says he's doing this, but Bob Melvin always said it was his lineup when it wasn't his lineup. So managers like to take ownership for the lineup because that's kind of what their job is, even if they're being told who to put on there. So I don't know who is actually making these calls.
Senior says, I personally think they're really slow rolling Eldridge, just letting him dip his toes in the water, get comfortable, because I think they are trying to move Chap or Devers. And once they do, he will. I think there was a second part.
I hope you're right, Senior. If that's the case, then great job playing 3D chess, and if they're able to move one of those guys, I think that's better for the Giants long term. And if Eldridge had to sit to be able to showcase them and get them their bats going again, then I will recant my take on it.
Did you see the? I don't know. I didn't watch the Giants broadcast. I watched the Diamondbacks. Did they show Buster and Brandon Crawford up at the game today? Did they get a shot of Buster Posey talking with Brandon Crawford?
I didn't see it, but I was half on the radio, half I was in and out.
Okay. Did anybody see the shot of Buster Posey? Buster was moving. Okay. Bogser said yes, they did. Okay. So yeah, and at the time Posey was moving his hands, talking, and Crawford. Brandon looks like he's put a few pounds on, man. He's been stuffing those donuts. I know he likes the donuts. He told me once, but still he looks good. He probably could still go out there and play some shortstop. But
who wouldn't when you exercise every day for your whole life and then all of a sudden you're not?
Yeah, I mean. What was the lineup tonight? I didn't even look. I know Devers had 2 hits, a bomb that you talked about, and then the double that looked good. Chapman was 1 for 3. He's at 220. He did take a walk as well. Adames 1 for 3 with the blast, back-to-back homers. Devers, Adames. I think they were back-to-back pitches too, if I remember. Schmidt 1 for 4, Arise 1 for 5, Bader takes an 0 for 5, Gilbert an 0 for 5, Susac. Okay, let's get on to Daniel Susac, another guy.
Sure.
Daniel Susac, what are we doing, Giants? The guy's your best catcher. He's got a really good arm, and he's hitting.
He may also be your best hitter.
2 more hits, 412.
He should play every day.
Why is this guy on the bench all the time?
He's pretty good. He's good at controlling the run game. He's not a bad catcher at all. I don't think you really lose much with him in there.
It is a possibility. Senior may be onto something. It is a possibility that these guys continue to implode and the Giants kind of allow it to implode where they just I don't know. I can't imagine Buster saying, I intentionally am planning on losing this year so we can trade these guys. That doesn't make sense.
No, he doesn't have to lose to trade them. He can do whatever he wants.
Right. But I think what it is if you just let them play, the natural consequences are they are going to lose a lot because they're not that good. And they didn't see it. I don't think the Giants saw it. I think
they're not doing themselves any favors.
I don't think that. Look, let's look at this. Harrison Bader, decent guy, decent player, not an all-star. Arise, he's been really good. In second base tonight, that one double play where he turned and fired it to Adames and the first one in the 7th inning, that was gold. I mean,
Arise is an all-star.
Yeah.
And
Arise is an
he could
all-star.
win a Gold Glove if he continues at this pace.
Yep. Schmidt looks like he's a solid player, if not a
He's a great
all-star.
DH. It's great to have him in the DH position. That makes so much sense.
Yeah. Devers is coming around. We're seeing a little bit more, quality at bats. Adames, he's at 240. He's going to land right around there. Chapman, Gilbert is down to 207. Gilbert's probably a 4A player, let's be honest, at least at this point. Susak should play. Will Brennan, I don't know why he's on the team at this point. Look.
But both Gilbert and Brennan, I would rather have Eldridge in there than both of those guys. I would rather have Eldridge and Patrick Bailey than Gilbert and Brennan.
Yeah.
So-
Senior makes a point here. This is what we've been saying. Look, Bob Brenly is watching this team. He knows the game. He was a World Series manager, winning manager in 2001. He knows that these guys are not really hustling. He called them out tonight, Devers and Adames specifically. I just don't think these guys, like Senior says, I don't think they're that hungry. Look, they got fat paychecks. They know that they are the leaders of this team. They know that they pretty much, their presence just around the clubhouse, that they are the guys that are looked up to. Doesn't matter their performance. They're the guys. Hey, man, it's like, when you go to a 6th grade through 8th grade junior high and you're the 6th grader and then you got these tough, taller, bigger, older 8th graders, 6th grade guy's not going to come up to the 8th grade guy and say, hey, man, get out of my way. I run this place. No. All these guys are taking a back seat to Chapman and Devers and Adames. And the problem is, deep down, the younger guys know they're better. And they don't, but they can't do anything. So they know, hey, these are our leaders and they're not any good and they don't really lead by example. I mean, what kind of example is that with Willy Adames getting doubled off the other night, not knowing how many outs there was, and he's screwing around, and you're out there screwing around with all the other team's players, and you are just clowning it up with everybody while the team's struggling. What is that? What kind of message does that send to the younger guys?
It's a bad example.
It's a bad example.
And when Devers doesn't run out of, Devers hit the home run today and he watched it, and it was long gone. And then he finally did kick it into gear because he was worried about it hitting off the facing of the thing that hangs down up there. But let me find this comment. Oh, Gilbert, Dallas Gilbert is in there because he played for Tony in college and will do anything for him. Well, why doesn't he get a hit for him? The Giants tonight, yes, they scored a couple runs. The pitching was better, but 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. How many times is there a goose egg with runners in scoring position? It's uncanny how often they could be in situations where they should be putting a crooked number on the board. They scored 3 in the second inning tonight. They should have scored 6. They scored the 3, but that was, about the lowest that you could get given that situation. So, and then the rest of the night, they didn't score again, right? Zeros, third inning, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9, all zeros. So, and then of course the Diamondbacks had zeros from the 2nd through the 8th and then hit the 4 in the 9th. So, the runners with scoring position, not being able to hit when the money's on the line. That is the Giants' Achilles heel. That's their weak point. That is what we've been dealing with all year long. They don't add on, and when someone's on second base, They cannot get him home. When someone's on third base in less than 2 outs, they cannot get him home. It's like it's something is mentally there's a block there. They cannot get the clutch hit and blow the game open. So, yep. and that came back to bite him again. It's happened multiple times this year. They can't get the clutch hit, and it bites them. Tonight, they couldn't get the clutch hit. It was too close, and that's a problem for this bullpen. They don't add on. They're not a killer. The bullpen doesn't have that killer instinct.
Nope, they don't rack up a lot of hits together. Look at how much pressure the Diamondbacks were putting on the Giants. The whole game, they just couldn't get it through. Bases loaded in the 7th, bases loaded in the 8th, and then they finally kicked the door down in the 9th. See, they were putting pressure. Giants, they don't put a lot of pressure on. They had a couple of runners on. Hey, by the way, guys, 217 watching right now on YouTube, a total of another 100 plus almost in total, over 311 watching right now. 49 likes on the channel. So go ahead and hit that like button, and we'll just put that subliminally down on the bottom. We'll scroll it. Hit the like button. It helps even push this out more to more and more people. Appreciate that, to the next 100 of you that actually take the time to do it. Thank you. What was I going to get to? I wanted to see the runners left on in scoring position tonight for the Giants because, let's see, left on base, runners in scoring position. They were 0 for 8 tonight, Giants. 0 for 8.
Yeah.
Diamondbacks.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yep. Diamondbacks were
3 for 7.
What were they?
3 for 7 with runners in scoring
3
position.
For 7. Well, that fits their 441 with bases loaded, or 471, according to the Diamondbacks broadcast crew. 471 with bases loaded. Marte's a beast. Arenado's a giant killer. He goes 2 for 4 again tonight. Look, this team, Corbin Carroll. How about the hustle from Corbin Carroll with the first run of the game in the bottom of the first, gets a triple, and then takes a shot off of his head? That I'm surprised he played the whole game. I thought for sure.
Yeah.
He was going to. They showed him in right field tonight. He showed him in right field right after that, in the top of the second after that, and his eyes were going like this. Wouldn't be shocked if he sits out tomorrow and he has some concussion symptoms, because that ball was moving probably 75 miles an hour, maybe.
Yeah, it had a lot on it. And his helmet fell off, like Jung-Hoo Lee's helmet falls off, and then he got hit in the head with no helmet. And it bounced off like he had a helmet on. It ricocheted. So that was.
I got to give. We try and give. We got to start doing the best comment of the night and the worst comment of the night. I'm sorry to pick on you, PY Tube, but this might be the worst comment of the night, maybe of the season. Trading Eldridge for a closer is not the answer. This team is not going anywhere. And to trade a guy with the upside of Bryce Eldridge for a closer for a team that's going nowhere would be actually downright criminal. So we don't need a closer at this point with our number one prospect. That would cue the pie tube has CTE. They say we might have to create some CTE songs for some of our chat. Come on.
But do you trade a Rise for a closer at the deadline?
Absolutely.
And a prospect?
Absolutely. Arise isn't going to be on this team next year. You're not winning with Arise this year. I would absolutely, if you got a good closer for Arise.
I think his value is going to be high. There's going to be about however many teams are in the playoffs could probably use him. So
you know who may want him is the Dodgers. The Dodgers would love to have Arise. But
we could get tips back.
Insane makes a good point. But if you got a decent young enough closer that was going to
under team control, I don't know who that is.
Yeah. You do that. You don't trade them for a closer that's got 1 year of control. The Giants are, hey guys, I'm trying to tell you, the Giants are 3+ years away. They're probably going to, right now, the Giants are, and with the proper moves, teams can turn it around in less than 2 years, even in a year. We've seen teams lose 90+ games and make the playoffs the next year. It could be done, but the Giants don't have the right nucleus to get it done, because what you would have to have is you'd have to have Matt Chapman, Willy Adames basically be 2021 Brandon Crawford and Brandon Belt, okay, next year. You'd have to have them both have these phenomenal years, let's trade a rise and get Tibbs back. There we go. But a rise is going to be gone. I heard Bob Brenly tonight on the Diamondbacks broadcast mention about the Giants should be looking to trade Ray and Webb.
Well, they should be looking to trade at least one of them.
Trade them both, please. George Curry says, Dan, giving the Dodgers a rise would be criminal. Why would that be criminal? Why is that the dumbest comment? Why trading with the Dodgers if they could help you? Who cares if you help the Dodgers? You don't think the Dodgers are going to get what they want anyway, George? What if the Dodgers offered you one of their better prospects that you're going to have for the next 6-8 years, and it helps you? And who gives a crap if you think the Dodgers, George, need a rise? If they don't get a rise, they'll go get somebody better.
Yeah, but also Arise is on an expiring contract. He will be a free agent after this year. So if they would make that trade, if they're out of it, if they're giving up on the season and they're going to cash in their chips and improve their farm system, then trade him. If he goes to the Dodgers, fine. He's leaving after this year. So unless the Dodgers want to re-sign him, but if the Dodgers want to re-sign him, they can re-sign him anyway because they'll outpay everybody.
I don't understand George's thinking. George, what are you thinking? You think the Giants are is that the Dodgers are competition to them? No, Giants aren't touching the Dodgers for the next few years. So
if the Dodgers want Luis Arise, they will get Luis Arise.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how the Dodgers operate.
Yeah, they get what they want, George. I'm not helping them get a World Series. Well, who cares, George? I mean, you guys got to get out of your Dodger hatred so much that you're worried about them winning a World Series. They'll win their World Series if they're going to win their World Series. The only help the Giants are helping them do is that the Giants are going to lose to the Dodgers 8 times this year. What is it now? It's they played 7, and it's Giants 4-3. So the Giants will win one more in the next 6 times they face them, maybe 2. But big deal. Dan, go be a Dodger fan. I care less about the Dodgers, George. I care about what the Giants do. Why do you worry about? That's like saying, "Oh, I don't want to trade so-and-so to help them, but it'll really help me." If it helps you, who cares if it helps another team? You're not competing against the Dodgers, George. It's like they're here and you're here. East to west, as far as east is the west, is the Dodgers and the Giants. North Pole, South Pole. Not even close. So if the Dodgers gave you a prospect that helped you, let me ask you this. Let's say the Dodgers said, we don't really need James Tibbs. We're so loaded. We'll give you Tibbs back for a rise. And Tibbs is a guy that's tearing up the minors, and he continues to tear it up. You say, man, we could have Tibbs back. We made a mistake in getting rid of him. We can actually get Tibbs back for a rise. Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you do that? Because you know what? If the Dodgers can't get a rise, they'll go find somebody like Xavier Edwards. If he was on, they'd make a deal with Miami and say, "Hey, we want Edwards, and Edwards is better than a rise." Or they could, the Dodgers have unlimited resources. They do what they want to do. So if they came to you and they said they wanted a rise and you could control what you got back from them, fine. I don't know what your guys' problem is in the chat that doesn't want to trade with the Dodgers.
Yeah, but they could trade. I mean, it doesn't have to be the Dodgers. If they gave you the best deal, then do it. But there's a lot of people, a lot of teams that have really good farm systems that know how to develop guys. And the ones that have a track record, you kind of feel good about the prospects you get from those organizations. So
look, how about the Giants and the Padres? 1987, 7-player deal. Giants got Kevin Mitchell and Dave Dravecky and Craig Lefferts back. Helped them win the division that year. Helped them get to the World Series in '89. Was that a division? Was that a stupid trade because it was in the division? I hate that whole concept. You can't trade with teams within the division. Look, if you can't your job is to make the playoffs and beat the teams that you play in the playoffs. And if that means the Dodgers, Padres, and Giants all make the playoffs in one season, so be it. Go beat them.
Cam has a trade here.
Yeah, I'm sure the Dodgers would just love that.
Well, he's throwing me in, though, so that could push it over the top.
Oh, wow, and Dallas. Okay. Yeah. I don't think the Dodgers would do that if you paid all of the salaries for all of those guys and then threw in another $1 billion.
I think you're right.
Hey, we'll pay the $800,000 we owe these guys, plus we'll give you $1 billion. And then, we got, I don't know. Look, guys, Giants lost, and George Curry says, Al Rosen and Trader Jack were real GM. These GMs are nerds and don't make those deals anymore. That's why you went back 49 years ago, Dan. That's history. Well, there's been some division trades in the last few years. I could pull up a few that just happened in the last 2 years with not the Western Division, but I'm thinking of, I can't think of the ones that come to my mind right now, but I know there's been a few. Dan, retire the Tony Victory song. That died tonight. Jeez, maybe it did. It might have. I mean, I'm starting to have my doubts about Tony, and I like Tony, but I don't like the fact that he's benching Eldridge. And that's why I say, I hope it's not him. I hope he's got tape recorded conversations or something with Buster, and that Tony reveals all after he gets fired. And then he could say, I wanted to play Eldridge, but here's Buster saying, don't you play Eldridge at all.
And I don't think that Eldridge is going to be the savior, but it's not going to hurt. I mean, what are we talking about here? Drew Gilbert is going to be the savior? No. Play Eldridge, get him going, get him acclimated to the major leagues in the second half of the season. Maybe he's good. Maybe he makes the adjustment. Maybe you don't have to send him down, and then he can help you. But I don't know. It's just it doesn't make much sense to me, and even the explanation they give us doesn't make sense to me. So
would that be
that's weird.
News?
The Eldridge thing doesn't make sense. Sticking to your guns with bullpen by committee. So far, early returns not working. So I don't know how long this is going to go on.
Hey, look, Giants, hire me. You can pay me based on how many wins the team gets. You don't even have to give me a salary. I will fix this team in no time because I will get rid of your dog crap. Okay? I will go young. We'll lose for a year or two, but we will be aggressive. and we will play smash mouth baseball. I love what the Diamondbacks do, man. They got balls. They go out there trying to steal a base when they're down 3-2 in the ninth with 2 out. The risk is he gets thrown out, game over. But the reward is he gets into scoring position. What happens if Marte just got a base hit on that?
Right. Yeah.
And it wasn't a home run. You got a tie game. Do the Giants have attempted 17 stolen bases this year? 17. We have played 49 games and they've attempted 17.
Let me explain this to emailer base. So there's 9 positions that the Giants can fill, right? Tonight, Brennan and Gilbert played in the outfield. And I'm saying they're all left-handed hitters. Eldridge is a left-handed hitter. Gilbert, Brennan, all left-handers. So his explanation that he didn't want to play Bryce because he was a left-handed hitter, well, that doesn't make sense because he played 2 other left-handed hitters. So why not put Casey Schmidt in the outfield and play Bryce Eldridge at DH, and then he could be in the lineup. The Ramos injury gives us the Giants the ability to play Bryce Eldridge and not ruffle the feathers of Chapman, Adames, Devers, which is what they don't want to do. And that was the problem. When Ramos was still in there, it did not make any sense. It was, you'd have to sit a veteran in order to play Eldridge. Now that's not the case. You can play Casey Schmidt in the outfield. He's got a glove. He's athletic. He can handle it. And they decided not to do that tonight because they wanted to prioritize the defense or whatever, which to be fair, they did fine. But I'm saying that Gilbert and Brennan did nothing tonight, and Eldridge is coming off a 2-hit game. So I would like to see him out there given this opportunity that we've been given with the Ramos injury.
Well, it probably wouldn't have mattered if he went 3 for 4 last night. That's what this team does. You produce, you sit. That's just the motto. You produce, you sit the next night. George says Buster will be on KMBR tomorrow morning, and Murphy will ask him why he benched Eldridge. If the Giants hired Dan, we will be in the cellar for 30 years. LOL.
We don't know that, emailer. He's played 1 game out there. So
yeah.
Remains to be seen.
He misjudged a ball that was dropping, and it went to the wall. It's probably going to be a double anyway, but it looked bad because he took the wrong angle at it. But that happens. He's probably not the greatest left fielder, but he needs more time. No teams with youngsters win World Series, George says. Well, George, teams with old vets don't win World Series either when they're your only vets, and they're not that good. I'm not trying to win a World Series this year, George. Giants aren't making the playoffs, George. Giants aren't making the playoffs in 2027, George. Giants probably will not make the playoffs in 2028, George. I am playing for 2028 and beyond. 2020. I want to get better, incrementally better, with younger, more scrappier, more athletic, skilled players. And when I have the young guys coming up like Bo Davidson, and I got Parks Harbor, and I got Joshar Gonzalez and Luis Hernandez and whoever we get in the 4th pick this year in the draft, and I got others, and through trades I pick up more prospects, and I get guys that are young and hustle and want to play and are hungry. And then by the time they've played together for 2 or 3 years, a la the Houston Astros, who, by the way, had Altuve and Correa and Springer and all those guys that came up together. What did they do? They just were in the World Series half the time. But they also lost 100 games for 2 or 3 years in a row, and they were the worst team in baseball. You take a look at the St. Louis Cardinals, what they're doing right now. They're all young. They've just committed to them. They're not doing this half measures, half in, half out. So the Giants, look, I don't know why you guys are even getting all upset. Giants aren't going to make the playoffs this year. Giants aren't going to make the playoffs next year. Book it if there is a season. Unless they do something drastic and get rid of the three guys that are pulling the team down, and see a way to move off of Jung-Hoo Lee as well. Just get some stud players and get guys that steal bases. Get guys that are aggressive.
I think they should bring Barracoto up. With Ramos out, you need a right-handed outfielder. There's a 40-man issue, but you could DFA Logan Porter. No one will pick him up. You can sign him right back to AAA. That'll be fine. I think.
Yeah, Logan Porter? Come on. Logan Porter? Yeah, you can DFA. He's on the 40-man?
Yeah, he spent a day on the Giants this year.
And he's still on the 40.
Yes.
All right. Logan Porter, easily. Yeah. I'll take a look at this 40. I'll clean it out right now. Hold on. Give me a second here. Let me look at this 40 and see who we can get rid of tonight that doesn't. All right. We're going to take a look at the roster. I'm pulling it up here. 40-man roster. All right. Tristan Beck, if needed, you can leave. Birdsong, he's on the 60, so he's not counting. Spencer Bivens, there's another guy that can. He's expendable. Ryan Barucki, he's expendable. I've just opened up 3 spots. JT Brubaker, he's expendable. There's 4. Gage, Henches, Hauser, Killian, Molly, McDonald, Eric Miller, Paguro, Robbie Ray, Randy, well, he's on the 60. Roupp, San Martin, he's on the 60. Santos, he's okay. Seymour, I've seen enough. See less. Goodbye if you have to. There's 5. Dylan Smith, 6. Ryan Walker, 7. Okay. Okay, there we go. Catchers, Logan Porter, 8. Infield, Koss, if I have to, 9. Outfield, Bader, Brennan, Gilbert, Lee, McCray, Oliva's on the 60, but when he comes off, there's another one, 10. Ramos. Okay, so you got 10 guys that you can just say goodbye to, and you wouldn't, and no one would pick them up. Maybe somebody picks up Koss for a utility guy.
Could be.
Johnny Cesari. How would I know that Johnny would say, Adames, gotta go, Dan. Dan?
Spencer
Adames
Bivens is not having a great year in AAA, but he played a role on this team the last 2 years as that long man. You bring him in when the game is out of reach. They don't have that now.
Bring me in when the game. Bring me in when the game's out of reach, Dallas. I don't even cost a 40-man spot.
They need a long man in the bullpen so that you don't have to use, like in games like yesterday. I didn't agree with him deciding to just eat the game. When it was 5-2, they said, well, Robbie Ray, let's just let him pitch as far as he can. He could only go 4, so they had to bring in people from their bullpen anyway at 2 innings apiece or whatever it turned out to be. They don't have any long man. Tidwell's gone. Wynn, they're using at 2 innings, 1 or 2 innings at a time. Brubaker, they're using 1 and 2 innings at a time. Those guys were stretched out to be starters at the beginning of the year. Now they're just bullpen arms. So they don't have anybody that can give you long-term relief and save the bullpen.
All right.
So that's odd to me because
right,
for the last 10 years, they've always had a Sean Jelly or someone that can give you 5 innings if you need it.
Yep. Let's do an exercise, Dallas. If these guys were gone tomorrow, are you losing any sleep, even a thought like, oh, shucks, we just lost Tristan Beck? There's your first one. Losing any sleep if he's gone?
Not really.
Okay. Birdsong, he's on the 60.
Can I make a point about Beck, though? Keaton Wynn and Beck, in my mind, they were like 2 guys that were never going to make it. They've been around for 5 years. Wynn actually is doing all right this year. They've given up on him as a starter, and he's coming in, and he's given us some innings out of the bullpen. And I think Wynn might be all right. So Beck might get a shot also. I don't know. But I wouldn't lose sleep over it. No.
All right. Let's go through this list. Birdsong, he's on the 60. If they said we're getting rid of him, I might.
No, you keep Birdsong.
I would think
high
there's too
upside.
much upside. Yeah, Spencer Bivens, I'm not worried about that. Are you?
No, but
Okay.
I do think that he was good for this team the last 2 years.
Right.
If you look at his numbers, he was very good.
All right.
So he's not pitching well enough this year to make the team.
You can
but,
find guys like that. We got 40 to go through, so we can't have a commentary on all of them. It's
Barucki can go. Brubaker can go.
Brubaker. Budo can go if he comes back. Foley, let's see what he does. I think he's got some potential. He had 27, 28 saves a couple years ago with the Tigers. Gage, let me gauge this a little differently.
Budo's a legitimate reliever they got in that trade.
Yeah, he's legitimate. But you can find these guys. These guys are.
He's not taking up a slot right now. He's
No.
not going to be back till next year.
No. Gage, I'd keep him. I'm not going to lose sleep if he's gone. Henches, I'd keep. Hauser, you signed him. He's serviceable. He's coming around. Trade him.
He's been good his last 3.
Yep. Trade him if you can. Killian, he's just in the wrong role at the end of the game. Just put him back in the 6th, 7th inning, and he's fine. Trevor McDonald, now that's a guy I would be disappointed and would actually, if I woke up in the morning and he was gone, they released him, I would say, oh, McDonald.
He's their best pitcher this year.
Yeah.
In 5 starts or 4 starts.
Miller, keep him around. Paguro, keep him around. Robbie Ray, you got to keep him to trade him.
Of course.
Randy Rodriguez, we'll miss him this year. Hopefully he'll be back next year. Landon Roupp, you definitely is a keeper. Rivers San Martin, when he comes back, who really cares?
Never seen him.
Gregory Santos, a lot of potential there. And he's only 20. He turns 27 at the end of August, so he's still young. Seymour, this is a guy that's going to turn 28 at the end of the year.
You hear good things about him, but I've never
heard
seen
some good things about him. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Dylan Smith, never heard of the guy until he showed up last week for a game.
Pitched an inning and then left.
Yeah, so no worries there. Blade Tidwell, he's a young guy. He's only 20. He turns 25 in June, so he's a keeper. Ryan Walker, the guy's he's 31. If he's gone tomorrow from the team,
He needs a fresh start somewhere else.
Yep. Logan Webb, obviously keep him. Hopefully he bounces back and you're able to trade him. Carson Wisenhunt, we haven't seen enough of to know whether he's good, bad, or indifferent. Rowan Wick, don't even know who that is. I just know he's old. See ya, Rowan. Rowan Martin. I remember a guy named by the Rowan Martin comedy. Keaton Wynn, I think he's worth keeping. Catchers, Haas, Rodriguez, and Susak. I think, those are all keepable guys. Porter, we've already discussed. Adames, be happy, not just like disappointed if he was gone. I'd be happy. That would be my emotion. Arise, obviously you keep him for a good trade. As we go through this, Chapman, I'd be thrilled, tickled pink if he was gone. Not just, I would do a break dance. I do we're talking Michael Jackson. I do the, what do they call that? The moonwalk. Do a dance on the floor, in the round. Do. Yeah, you'd see me doing. If Matt Chapman was gone, you'll see me do the Michael Jackson impersonation right here live. Hold me to that, guys. Do. So Chapman and Adames, be thrilled. Devers, be thrilled if he's gone too. Christian Koss, whatever.
Harrison Bader, whatever. Will Brennan, whatever. Drew Gilbert, he's still young, first-round pick. Let's give him a chance. Jung-Hoo Lee, Grant McCray. Now, Grant McCray, I want to see play some ball. That guy's got some speed. He's got some athleticism. Give him a shot. Give this kid a shot. I'd rather see him than Brennan, personally. Just bring him up.
Yeah, he's not playing well, though.
I don't even care. He's athletic. Let's see what he does. Maybe he gets a spark. Jared Oliva, I'd rather you called yourself Oliva because I think you could hit if your last name was Oliva. But since you call yourself Oliva, you'll never hit. If you ever heard of Tony Oliva, Jared, you would actually pattern yourself and say, I'm an Oliva, not an olive. Okay? But because you're an olive, you can't.
People change their name to fit past players. Very common.
Yep, Oliva. You'll be able to hit. But Oliva, no thanks. Elliot Ramos, I like. And is he great? No. Is he serviceable and a good player? I think he's good. Bryce Eldridge and Casey Schmidt, designated hitters. They're listed on the 40. Definite keepers. So this roster, I just read the 40-man roster. It's worse than I thought, Dallas. It's really worse than I thought. This might be a 200-loss team in a 162-game schedule.
Well, I'd like to see that because I don't know if the math is right there.
Well, I do think am starting to see and smell not just 85 losses. I'm smelling 95 with this roster as I went through it. I can see 90. These guys, who's a ball player in there? Give me a ball player. Let's look. Who's the ball player?
And half of them you listed are not on the
Landon
team.
Roupp. Landon Roup's a ball player. He's a bear. He's a tiger. He's whatever you want to call him. He's got the I like that.
He is a dude.
Yeah, I like that. Hauser, Molly, McDonald. I like McDonald. He's got the, I like McDonald. He's a guy that throws strikes, gets the ball in there, and does his business. Robbie Ray just had a bad night last night, but he's okay. Roop, I like Webb, but I think Webb's going to struggle a lot with this ABS, so should have traded him. Still should trade him. Hope he comes back and deals, and the Giants say, he's our most valuable asset. Who wants Logan Webb? It's going to be start putting the feelers out there that Logan Webb is on the market and make this thing, the value go up. Make it a bidding war for Logan Webb. That's what I want to see. Who else is a gamer? Blade Tidwell. He looks like a tough dude. Okay. Daniel Susak. That guy looks like a gamer to me. Looks like a guy that's a ball player. I like it. I like Rodriguez bat. The infield. Arise. That's it. Devers. Devers he's going to be Rafi. He's going to do this, and then he's going to go back down again. He's not consistent. Outfield, I like Harrison Bader. He's a gamer, but he's not the greatest. He's not going to make a difference on this team, but he's a gamer. I like gamers. Grant McCray looks like a gamer to me. Elliot Ramos, gamer. Jung-Hoo Lee's growing on me a little bit, but he's not that good. Eldridge, I don't know. I think he's a gamer, but we don't see him.
Incomplete. Not enough information.
And Casey Schmidt. Casey's a baller. He's a gamer. Look, you got about 5 dudes on the team I named. Out of 40. I went through the 40-man roster. They have nothing. I'm going to have to create a song tonight. I might call it the Driving Down I-95. Looking to get down. The I-95 is over, for those who don't know the I-95, it's on the East Coast, and it runs, does it run east and west? I believe it runs east
north,
and west.
south.
North, south? Right.
Yes.
95. along with the I-91 runs north-south as well. But the Giants...
All the odd ones are north to south.
Okay. And I think the Giants are looking to maybe drive down the scenic route this year. Do the Giants have the scenic route in their forecast? Are they going to go down through Santa Barbara, up the coast, San Luis Obispo, up the 101? Is that the Giants this year, 61 and 101? They're 20 and 29, folks. What's their target? 20 and 29. That is 20 divided by 49. That is 40.8%. Let's see what 162 times 40.8% gets us. Gets us right to 66 and 96. Let's figure out where they'll be after tomorrow. 20 divided by 50 is 40%. And 162 times 40% is 65 wins. That is 97 losses. So I had my little paper here, but my cute little wife threw it away. I had it written down here, 20 and 30 at the end of this road trip. Do you recall that?
Yes, I can recall that.
And you had 24 and 26, or was it 23 and 27? I can't remember. I think it was 23 and 27, if I recall.
23 and 27.
Okay. So I'm going to either be right on it or one game off.
Yep, that's right.
And when they get home, they don't have a day off for a while, do they?
They have one Thursday, I think.
Oh, well, I guess they do. Yeah. And then they got the next Thursday off. Okay, so they got the White Sox and the Diamondbacks for the next 6, the homestand. That looks like maybe a 3-3 homestand. Then they go to Colorado for 3, Milwaukee for 4, and the Cubs for 3, a 10-game trip. That'll be a 4-6 trip at best. So they'll be 10 under after tomorrow, and then after the next road trip, they'll be 12 under. And then they come home to play Washington and the Cubs. That's a 6-game stand. They'll maybe split that, but likely go 2 and 4. And they'll go 2 more under, 14 under. Then they go on the road to Atlanta and Miami. They win 2, lose 4, and then they're 16 under 500. And then they got the A's and Atlanta at home in June, and that's 6 games there. And then they go on the road to finish Arizona, and that's a stretch of 8 games. They're going to be like 16 to 17, 18 games under 500 by the end of June.
That is a possibility.
And I was being kind of nice saying they're splitting some series, some homestands and stuff like that. I don't like this team, guys. I don't like it at all. I feel like a kook that I even said 88 games. I read it wrong. I read it wrong. How did I read it wrong? I read that Devers would be leading the team. That would have made Chapman better. I did not expect Chapman to be this bad. I did not expect Adames to be this bad. I thought, I bought into I should have just looked at these guys' talent versus trying to get psychological and think, oh, well, Willie put too much pressure on himself last year. Down on the corner, howdy in the street, Willie and the poor boys are dancing. I thought Willie was putting too much pressure because he got the big contract last year, and this year he would be relaxed. He had Devers now making the big bucks. He wasn't the big money maker. I thought Chapman would be a little bit more just settled. Devers is settled. So I expected a lot out of those guys. I expected Jung-Hoo Lee to be better. I expected Casey to be doing well. I expected, Arise to be Arise. I expected Ramos to be a little better than what he was last year. I thought Bader would help. I thought, basically everybody I thought would be better, and everybody's been worse, except Casey and Arise.
Yep, you're right. That's exactly the case.
So, so I went for the 88. Oh, and then I really had him at 85, but I threw the 88 in there because of the Tony Vitello factor.
Yep.
Tony is looking to me like either this is the greatest, what do we want to call it? Playing chess, that Tony and Buster are working together to like make this team as bad as possible, to just move off of all these horrible players and then go young, or Tony is not the guy I thought he might be. I did see that, Senior. Thanks for that. I saw that on Twitter earlier tonight. Yes. What a punishment that was. There's a guy sitting up. I could pull it up on Twitter, but I'll pull it up on my phone here. This guy had this, he's up in the stands, and his punishment for coming in last place was I stink at fantasy football, and he had to sit up in the third deck all by himself.
That's pretty good.
All right. Take a look at that. Let me hold on. Imagine this is your punishment. Oh, well, you saw it. There it is. I stink at fantasy football. He's sitting up there in the bleachers. What game was that? That was Boston and Boston, Kansas City. Can you imagine that? So
I guess the Royals don't sell out the upper deck much.
Yeah, Giants are. This is where they are, guys. Look, there's one. You want to have some positive talk right now? Should we turn this to positive?
Well, if the bullpen had held on tonight, I think we would have been having a different conversation.
True, maybe a little.
Roupp was really good.
Yeah. Hey, look at the thumbnail I had prepared, and I had to change it. I had to change the thumbnail from this. This was the thumbnail. Pitcher Roupp, pitching defense lead Giants over Dbacks. It was a nice big thumbnail. We had it all set to go. E. Miller Bay says, Dan, blow up and have a realistic conversation. Okay, E. Miller, let's have a realistic conversation. The Giants are not going to blow it up. They will be eternally a 500 club because the ownership doesn't know what the hell they're doing, and neither does the front office. Does that make you feel better? Does that make you feel better, E. Miller? Is that more realistic? Giants are not blowing anything up. They are going to be eternally in the crapper because they have a front office that doesn't know how to evaluate talent. They have their number one prospect that sits on the bench, and ownership will not spend any money, and they're going to continually stay below the payroll. The casual fans will continue to flood Oracle Park because it's a beautiful place to watch a ball game. And Larry Bear will be just singing the praises, and he'll be in the booth with Dwayne and Kruk, and they'll be talking about how wonderful Mission Rock is, and the project is really going well. and Larry will be saying, Dwayne and Krug, we just love you guys. The project's going super well over there at Mission Rock, and we just want to be so much. We're just so thankful to be part of this community. We have the best fans in the world, and Mission Rock is just doing so well, and we're looking at putting some more statues around the ballpark. We want to get one for Barry, and we want to get one for Jeff Kent. Jeff Kent's now a Hall of Famer. You know that, right? So Jeff is going to have a statue, and
Buster's going to need one soon.
Yeah, Buster's going to go to the Hall of Fame, and then we'll probably be getting one of Boch.
Buy two, get one free.
Yeah, we're just going to continue to live off of the 2010, 2014 as long as possible. But E. Miller, just for you, I know it's 2053, and Larry is now 99 years old or whatever the heck he might be. But we're just going to keep promoting everything. This is just, now it's no longer Kruk and Kipe. It'll be one of the Kipers, though, that'll be in the booth because, the Kipers will just keep going. We'll and on and on and on. So we got to make sure that this team is, we really want to get in the playoffs, and we owe it to you fans. You fans have been tremendous. You continue to show up, and we have not been able to put it together completely, but we're right there. We're right there, John and Dwayne and Dave and Kruk. We love you guys. You guys have been just tremendous broadcasters. We have the best broadcasters in the booth. The fans love our broadcasters. We have so much to be thankful for as San Francisco Giants fans. I know we haven't made the playoffs in the last 35 years, but E. Miller, we're not going to rebuild just because you said we won't. So we won't do it for you, E. Miller, because we're just not going to do it. Okay. We're not
pretty good impersonation there.
So that's my Larry Bear. That's the Giants in a nutshell. That's this whole organization. The only reason they won was because Brian Sabian had big gonads. Okay. And he didn't take any crap from anybody. And he knew what he was doing, and he knew he had a plan, and he knew what kind of budget he had to work with. And that's why he signed Buster Posey to a long-term deal that was pretty team-friendly for like 10 years. Buster Posey never hit free agency. Buster was signed early. He developed those guys. And, this organization doesn't want to rebuild. They don't know how to do it. I'm just telling you, Larry Bear is probably the biggest detriment, and Greg Johnson, the two biggest detriments to this organization going anywhere, because they refuse to open their eyes and look outside the organization and bring in somebody who's actually done it. Farhan was not the guy. He had done nothing. Go find somebody that's actually done it. Go get a Dave Dombrowski. Go get a Ned Coletti. Go get, some of the top executives that are out there, and and pay them top dollar and have them run this team. Stop trying to go with the nepotism and stay within this organization. Yeah, I know Farhan. Casey was a Farhan guy. Farhan had a few good draft picks. So was Eldridge. This team.
Bring back Farhan.
Please not. But what I don't understand why anybody is afraid to rebuild. What you know why the Giants continue to be the laughing stock of baseball? Their second worst team. Did the Rockies win tonight, by the way?
I don't know.
Because if they did, the Giants are tied for the worst record in the National League.
Rockies lost 10-0.
Okay, so the Giants get a reprieve. They're still one game better than the Rockies. Here's the thing that why the Giants don't rebuild. Because fans keep showing up. Why would you rebuild why would you go and rebuild and risk the fact that the team might lose 100 games? But that's why I say, hope they lose 95 to 100 games this year, because I'm not going to enjoy if they make it to 500 at the end of the year. Oh, great. Moral victory. Yay, 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 team, yay. We made it to 500. We're such a good fan base. Oh boy, it's San Francisco, and we made it to 500. Please, give me a break. Give me a break. It's just blow it up. Blow it up, because Kuiper was pissed tonight after the loss. Interesting.
Can't really blame him.
Listen to this one. Doesn't matter who they hire. They went from Farhan to Buster, freaking Posey, and nothing changed. The org is a vortex, a disease, a black hole. Giants fans, Lowe says, would rather keep a car with 300,000 miles and add to it rather than buy a new whip. Exactly. Yeah. The Giants, come on, guys. What are we afraid of a rebuild for? What's the worst thing that happens in a rebuild? It fails. That's the worst thing that can happen. It fails. Is it any better than is it any worse than what you're doing now?
I mean, they're going to say that they're rebuilding at the same time as they're doing this.
But you can't do it properly when you have 5 contracts that are you can't, you have to use those guys as assets. You have to figure a way.
No one wants them.
That's why you got to have to pay for them. Nobody wants them.
But the ownership group won't pay for them, so it's not going to happen. You got to get them good, get them back to having value, so that then you can move them. Maybe that's their plan, but
I think that might be the plan. I do. I'm starting to think that might be the plan, because why else are they playing? Now, Devers is starting to build his value back up a little bit. He's starting to. What is he hitting in May? He's got to be hitting close to 375.
Yeah, he's got to be.
Exactly, Mr. SFC 415. Fans have to stop going.
That's the only way you'll see, your style of rebuild.
I'd rather eat at a bad restaurant and be out $40 than $300. Absolutely.
He's hitting 306 in May with a 911 OPS.
306? I thought he was higher than that. Jeez.
Yep.
Yep. Hiroku's right. They need to fire the front office if they're going to rebuild. The problem is, I'm telling you, the problem is Larry Baer. Larry Baer is the problem, along with Greg Johnson. You get rid of those two guys, you ship those guys out on put them on a cruise ship or something, and an iceberg, they hit an iceberg, whatever. Larry Baer and Greg Johnson are the biggest detriments to this organization. You've got to get somebody that takes the controlling ownership percentage. Mm-hmm. I think Greg Johnson owns like 26%. Exactly, Lowe's. Yeah, that guy has con man written all over him. Professional con artist. He's the worst. He is the worst.
He's just implementing what the ownership says, though.
Yeah, but he's a PR con man. He every time he talks, I just like, oh gosh, shut up, Larry. It's like, Larry. Yeah, I'll be wearing my Dback hat tomorrow. I'll be bringing my broomstick as well. I'll be right up there on the dugout with the Arizona Diamondbacks mascot, Baxter, with my broom. Hey, George and I agree 100% there. We've come to an agreement. It's time for the end of the show. George and I have come to an agreement. We weren't sure on some things, but we agree with this about Larry Bear. Look, I just think the guy, no one else will call him out in the Bay Area. Why? Because I get it. Maybe I wouldn't call him out if I was on NBC Sports Bay Area. Maybe I wouldn't want to lose my job. I get it. But hey, I don't hear that music too well. Let me turn that volume up just a hair. Guys, it's been great having you here. Hour and 36 minutes in. Wow, we had some fun. Make sure you do hit that like button. Sorry we weren't, more positive, but there's nothing to really be that positive about. Oh, I did have something positive for you guys. Yeah, Dan and George agree now gas prices drop. Here's the positive tonight. Oops. I think we put the wrong one on. We did. We got to start her up. Yeah, that was it. It started. We had the other one because that, if we stop it, it picks up where we left off in the middle of the show. So no Tony victory tonight. But guys, here's the positive. I want to leave you with something positive. You're going to take this wrong, many of you. But the positive is, if the Giants continue to lose, and expect them to lose a lot, then you won't be so disappointed. I had them fully losing tonight. Even in the 9th inning, I was thinking, they're going to blow it. Had to change my thumbnail, but I wasn't so disappointed because I was expecting the worst.
You made that victory thumbnail to begin with, though, and that jinxed it.
Yeah, but I had to have it ready. Anyway, guys, here's the positive. If you're a true Giants fan, like a real long-time Giants fan, and you're in reality, let me do that again, reality check. You know this team is not going to make the playoffs this year. You can see it on the field. You can see it on the faces. You can see it in the effort. You can see this team just isn't that good. So don't root for them to win every other game and be a 500 team. Of course, if the Giants go do something like what the Phillies have done, the Phillies have turned their season around. Remember, the Phillies are now over 500. Remember when the Giants went to Philadelphia, the Phillies were 9-19. That's not too long ago. Phillies are now like 25-24 after they lost today. Phillies have completely turned it around. Okay, they've won like, what, 9-25? They won like 16 and lost 5? Something like that out of the... Okay, if the Giants do that, great. Get back into the saddle. Hop on. Going for a ride. But if it gets worse, and it probably will, then look, pull for them to lose 95-100. Why? Because maybe you'll wake up Larry Bear and Greg Johnson. And maybe they'll actually do something drastic like tear it down. There we go, guys. That's the good news. If they keep losing, keep rooting for them to lose. Not because you hate them, because you love them and you want to see change. All right, guys, have a good night. We got a good
Man, that was just disgraceful.